Hey guys, in today's video, what I'm going to talk about is this idea of practicing less. And I know that that can kind of seem contradictory, especially if you're in a position of taking music classes, if you're at the university level, and or if you're really into pursuing the instrument to try to get as good as you can be, then it's very common all the stories that we've heard where it's said to us to practice more and more and more. What I want to suggest is that you practice less. Now, let me explain. What I mean by practicing less is this. Instead of thinking that you have three, and some of us don't, let me clarify that. But let's say that you are in a position at this stage in your life where you can practice for multiple hours in a day or multiple hours through the night. So you're looking at it as being able to practice, 3, 4, 5 hours. Let's say that that's an option for you. What I'm suggesting is, what if you only had an hour? What if you only had 30 minutes? It's not ideal, but what if that was the only time that you had? How would you structure your practice at that point? See, I'm asked pretty often about my practice routine, and I've addressed my practice routine to some extent. Now, my practice, because I'm in a different position in life right now, where I do have a family, I teach on a regular basis, um, and I'm creating videos, and I'm out doing gigs, and I'm trying to take care of the business side as well, where I'm trying to lock in more gigs. My time shifts, and I don't always have a set block of time that I practice because of those things that occur, just on the personal level, especially with, having kids, as parents can relate to. Uh, you can say that you're going to do something at this time, but if you're the one that's there with your kid and you're trying to make things happen and an issue comes up, you have to think, you have to meet their needs. So I don't always have those big blocks of time where I can go for it and not worry about any sort of external um, distraction that would prevent, that would hinder my ability to really get into this deep focus. So let's say you only had a minimal amount of time, and if that's the case, what would you do? What would you do with your practice? How would you handle your practice? What is the thing that you need to work on that you feel is the most beneficial to you at this stage in the game? What is it that you need to address? What is it that interests you about this? Right? Do you have gigs coming up? Do you have regular lessons and you need to put out the effort to prepare the material for your lesson? Let me give a little story about me here. uh, as I teach, I encounter things that, I guess, the flip side of what I, in some respects, put a few of my professors through. I felt that there were certain things that I wanted to practice that felt important to me, that were entertaining to me. And at that time, if I would have worked on those things that my professors told me to do, I would have been much further along than I am now. So I have to take time now to catch up to some of those things that I should have taken care of a long time ago. So, you know, there's the demands of college, and there's things that, especially if you're at the college level, there's a list of things that you need to practice that comes up, and you need to prepare for those things if you're in that situation. I will say this: once you're out of school, see, school, when you're doing college and you're pursuing this at the college level, you're given a lot of information. And the idea is not that you can master all these things. Far from it. You're not going to be able to master all these things that is presented to you within just a few years. It's not going to happen. Most of the things that your professors and my professors taught me, or even private teachers are teaching, most of these things are going to take years to get a handle on. Remember, the guitar is a pretty involved instrument. That's the amazing thing about it. But it's a pretty involved instrument. And depending on the style of music that you want to do, what your bigger goal is going to determine how long some of these particular items of focus will take. Don't look at it as, well, once I do this, then I'll be great. No, that's not going to happen, because there's always something new. You're going to find that once you complete that one thing you thought would make everything great for you, there's going to be something else. So what you need to do is think about the things that mean the most to you, or the things that are most important, the significant things that you need to practice. Put those first. Think about less. If I only had this amount of time, if I can't waste time, if I only had an hour every day, what would you practice to make you a better player? And going back to, at least for me, my story on basically ignoring the things that, at least early on, that my professors wanted me to work on, I'm sure they were frustrated with me. And now, in being in the position that I am, where I am, an adjunct professor, and I'm also private instructor, I deal with that stuff too. And I can understand the frustration that comes from that. So once again, think about what the significant things are, those things that can enhance your playing abilities and your skills, and work on those things. Don't think you have to tackle every single thing that's out there, because that is way too much. You will never get through it. You will feel overwhelmed. So think about less. Master one thing. Master a couple things. Don't try to take on 10 or 15 things, because you're going to find that you're going to get into a rut. You're going to get burned out. And for some people, and I've known some of those people, they end up giving up. They end up stop playing music. They don't do guitar anymore, and they hate it. They can't stand to do it anymore because they felt like it was too overwhelming. So I hope this little bit of advice helps. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.